On today's episode of Empowering Women in Real Estate, the podcast, we're going to be talking about your nervous system is closing deals too, the science of stress and anxiety with Dr. Monique Thompson.
Hi, I'm Karen Cooper, a wife, mom of three, real estate broker, team owner, and founder of Empowering Women in Real Estate. As a realtor, I've personally helped well over 700 families in my career, and now I help thousands of women from all across the country balance real life and real estate through daily inspiration, motivation, and actionable plans to increase their success. Listen in as I share stories and tips from my life and business and interview some of my favorite people.
Hi there. I am so happy that you are here for today's episode. I can honestly say I don't think I have laughed as much as I have laughed with someone on a podcast interview, and definitely no one has made me cry, but this guest did, and that is Dr. Monique Thompson, and she is absolutely incredible. I am so thrilled that she is going to be joining us at our Empowering Women in Real Estate Conference, which is coming up on September 29th and 30th at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Dulles, Virginia. I think we have some tickets left. If not, then we will have a wait list. So if you don't have your ticket for the event and you want to come and join us, just message me. You can message me on Instagram. I'm at karen.w.cooper, and let me know. We can get you on the wait list if tickets are not available. Get all the details on our website, which is empoweringwomeninrealestate.com. Click on the conference. But, I wanted to have this conversation, and I wanted to have the speaker for the conference in this conversation today because several months ago, I did a podcast episode called Stress and Anxiety. And it was about my own personal experience, about how, this business, this industry, I literally don't know a woman in the real estate industry right now who isn't feeling burned out, who isn't struggling with stress, who isn't struggling with anxiety. And the response that I got to that episode really was eye-opening to me. I knew that a lot of people were going to relate, but I didn't know how many, and I did not really fully expect or understand the response. And so from that, I knew that we wanted to have a speaker at the conference to talk about this, and specifically a speaker who is a clinician, who is, certified and educated and licensed and degreed and all those kind of things. And that is what Dr. Monique Thompson is. And she is positively incredible. You're going to learn so much from this episode. What I love about what she teaches and what she talks about is she gives tools, and she talks about the tools in our toolbox. And she gives so many analogies that helps you to really kind of understand this about how, we already have it. When you're feeling stressed, when you're feeling anxious, when you are running from client to client and problem to problem, for me, I feel like I'm vibrating when that's happening. And it's just this nonstop thing. And she gives you a lot of very simple tools that can step back for just a moment. And I'm not talking about an hour. One of these strategies that she talked about, and we did it together it's 90 seconds. It's 5 minutes that can kind of change that state for you. And it can reduce that stress, and it can reduce that anxiety. And also it can kind of open up the creativity within you again to solve whatever that problem is. Because a lot of the stress and anxiety that we feel honestly comes from problem solving. Our client has a problem, we have a problem. How do we fix it? And so I'm so excited for you to hear this episode today. I hope that you can come and join us at the conference and meet Dr. Thompson in person. I know that this is probably going to be one of those sessions where everybody walks away and says, this was the one. I can't wait for that. And if you can't join us, I get it. There's time constraints, there's money constraints. I totally understand. That's why I wanted to bring her on today so that you could hear from her and to learn from her. So with no further delay, here is Your Nervous System is Closing Deals Too, the Science of Stress and Anxiety with Dr. Monique Thompson. Dr. Monique Thompson, I am so excited to have you on the show today.
I'm excited to be here. I've been waiting for this all day long.
I first connected with you because I had shared my own personal story and kind of journey with stress and anxiety and kind of a lot of how that has,
Yes.
kind of happened around my real estate business and things like that. And the response to that, it surprised me. And so I went
Hmm.
looking for you because we have this conference coming up and I knew I wanted to talk to an expert in this
Hmm.
field. And I found you because you've recently been doing some things with Women at Real. So
Yeah.
will you tell us a little bit about you, about your education, your background, what you do, all the good
Yes.
things?
Well, so specific to this world, what matters for, I think this audience is my specialties with trauma, anxiety. I'm a scientist by training. I'm an artist at heart, and I've been a clinician in this field for over 25 years. But I started off with such a thick level of experience in psychiatry and in the fringes. So with forensic psychology, I worked with adult male sex offenders and child survivors of sexual trauma. I
Oh,
did
wow.
emergency psychiatric care and community mental health. And my strict mother had me in science and math classes forever. So
Wow.
coming into private practice, I just happened to have like a huge storehouse. But like a lot of the women in real estate, I've tried to balance being a mom at that point and being a
Yes.
wife. So I
Yes.
changed my whole practice and settled into working hours first,
Hmm.
and then like who can fit into those working
Uh-huh.
hours
Yes.
so that I can be at home and be a wife and a mom.
Right.
What emerged was I happened to be very, very good at managing trauma, anxiety, bipolar disorder, depression, the main ones, right?
Wow.
And I happened to be exceptionally well handled with adult survivors of sexual trauma and couples recovery from affairs.
Mm-hmm.
My belly guess on that is that I just have a good instinct
Yeah.
for helping people de-escalate.
Yeah.
I'm by nature non-judgmental
Yeah.
and by nature kind of a curious George when it comes to the science. So over the years, we know so much more than we once did
Yes.
about the neuroscience, about what you have already inside of you, that you do not have to go buy anything or get a prescription for anything. Like there's things you already have inside of you. And if you know what I call brain tricks, if you know enough brain tricks, you can
Mm,
take care of yourself in under 90 seconds on the,
I love it.
on the fly. You don't
Yes.
have time to get to the spa.
Yes.
You cannot reach your best friend with them on the phone, right?
Yes.
Nothing is funny on TV. Like right here, nothing is funny on TV. It's too early for happy hour. Just you
Yeah.
need
Yes.
right there in on the spot. You've got 90 seconds to get yourself back, back together. I happen to know a lot of brain tricks that I've accumulated over the years, and I use them too. So
Mhm.
that's where I come from, is a world where there first was the training and the necessity, and then as my practice evolved and my life evolved, I share what I know works. And I'm kind of a stickler
Mhm.
about that because we're in such an information age
Oh, yeah.
that there's a heavy hand of guesses that people share
Hmm.
that have possibly worked for them
Hmm.
uniquely, but will not work for all the rest of us.
Anybody else? Hmm.
Anybody. Like
Yes.
that little thing they used to put up saying, don't try this at home. I really feel like, I really feel like we need that disclaimer on a lot of the
Yes.
content that's out there, right?
Oh my
But
gosh.
99.9% of the things that I, as a trained clinician, share are
Yep.
things you both can and likely should be
Yeah.
trying at home. So quick fixes for moms, quick fixes for women. We
Yeah.
do biologically have a little bit heavier bend when it
Yeah.
comes to anxiety,
Mhm.
when it comes to inefficiency in biologically getting rid of stress hormones.
Mhm.
So it's not that you don't have to do anything about that except adjust to it. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
born 5'2", then you don't buy the long pants.
Right. Oh, yes. I love
All it
that
is.
analogy.
It's like,
Yes. Yeah.
if you're allergic to peanuts, we
You don't
all
eat
can
them.
have them.
Yes.
You don't eat them,
That's
right?
right.
Right. So it's just accepting your true nature, who you really
Mm.
are. And self-acceptance does not mean self-excusal.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, you breathe that in right in that moment when something's happened and you may be guilty. So there's that where
Yeah.
you would like for somebody else to be at fault.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
oh, lo and behold, it is
Yes.
I. You know?
Yes.
So
Yes.
if you're not at fault, you can need to be rescued. You could dial
Yeah.
911. But what if you set the fire
You're right.
and burned all your own stuff up?
Oh my gosh.
What did
Yes.
you
And
do?
don't we
Yeah.
all do that from time to
On
time?
the
Yes.
regular, see, that's the thing. On the regular,
Yes.
all the time, like 24/7, 365, no
Uh-huh.
dose with
Uh-huh.
energy bars. We do that all
Uh-huh.
the time. And if
Uh-huh.
you live in the guilt of it, how will you choose to grow? How will
Yeah.
you choose to learn? How will you choose to heal? So, right there, there's always a pause.
Yeah.
Always a
Yeah.
pause. And we've
Okay.
technically known about this pause
Uh-huh.
since about the early 70s, but did we teach?
Mm.
We did not teach. You're like,
No,
no, they did not
no,
teach that in school.
no, we
You
don't
would
know
have
any
taken
of
that
this.
class.
Yes, I
You
would
would
have
have
taken the
taken that
class.
class.
There are so many things. I was scribbling notes. There's like
Hmm.
five things that you just said
Yeah.
that
Okay.
I want to dig on just a little bit.
Sure.
So one of them, are you a Gemini by any chance?
Girl, I'm a Pisces through and through.
Okay,
Water,
okay.
water, water.
Okay, so you know why I thought that is because you said that you talked about the scientific, and maybe that's just because your
Ah,
mom was kind of
hmm.
pushing you there, but then also an artist at heart. And I
Yes.
love that. I love the
Yes.
like the dichotomy of those things, and I can
Yes.
see where that makes you really amazing at your job because it's such a gift, I think, to be able to have
Mhm.
kind of because those are like two different parts of your brain, right?
They are. And look, Ollie Mae McDaniel, we'll give her some credit for just outsmarting me. Because the truth is, I mean, I love my life and I love the husband that I have. And the truth
Yes.
is, I had a crush on him and he had a crush on me when we were kids. And I got in a lot of trouble with that boy. I got in a lot of trouble with that boy. And my mother outsmarted me. She
Oh, could
outsmarted me. She sent me to another high school. I never saw him again. I didn't know I was going to another high school. I went on a jump in the car road trip with my grandparents to Detroit and Chicago. When I came back at the end of the summer, I was shipped off to another high school. I never saw that little boy again. I never saw him until I was getting on an elevator in Dallas, Texas. He recognized me. I recognized him. Fast forward, we've been married for 23 years. This true story. But
Oh my
that little boy, oh, I got in so much trouble with him.
That is so crazy. But you know what? But like, isn't that like the people who are for you are meant for you and you're going to find him?
Girl, they're coming back around. They're coming
They're
back
coming
around.
back around.
They're
Okay, so
coming back around. Okay, so back to
all right.
yes, back to
Okay, okay. So I love that. We're going to have so much fun. I also loved what you said about, okay, two things. All right, one more thing. You said about all these people out there
hmm
sharing their, I mean, there are
Yeah.
influencers for
hmm
everything, right? Do you know how
hmm
hard it was for me to find you? Because I put it out there into the world. This is what I'm looking for. I wanted a clinician, right? I wanted someone who had the certifications and the education. And do you know what I got? I got inundated by, let's call them influencers who don't have the science back. Now, not that they're not wonderful people and amazing people, but like
hmm
don't have, and it's great to share what works for you, but just because it works for
hmm
you doesn't mean that it's, that you can build a class and
hmm
build a whatever and you know what
hmm
I'm saying around it for someone
hmm
else. Um,
hmm
what you said about if you're 5'2", don't buy the tall pants,
Yes.
accept your true
Mhm.
nature.
Accept your true nature.
And we don't do
hmm
that enough, do we?
So we're kind of in this place where we could increase our authenticity.
Hmm.
We could.
Hmm.
But it's back to that class that they didn't give us
They
an
didn't teach.
opportunity. They didn't
Hmm.
teach that class.
Hmm.
Instead, you were like, well, why am I short? How can I be tall? Can I put some heels on and maybe fit in these pants? Because then maybe you'll like me more. Because they said the tall people get all the opportunities and that people first impressions is the last impression and all this kind of so you you live in all these sayings
Yes.
instead of living in actual credible truth.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So then at some point you survive your childhood. You like slide in the home plate, like
Hmm.
slide in the home plate into adulthood and breathlessly look around and go, oh, it's all the same. Why does it look the same here? And you
Yeah.
realize, oh, I have to do something.
Right.
What am I to do? What we know now is that only about 2 to 3% of your brain's activity is in your
Mhm.
conscious mind.
Mm.
So part one, that feeling that we all have of, it seems like it's going too fast. It seems like things are, because you're only a little bit aware of all the activity that your brain is doing. But to be fair, your heart is not having long conversations with you either about beating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your eyes
Yeah.
don't talk to you about that. Your
Yeah.
mouth is like, oh, that's bitter. And you're like, well, couldn't you tell me faster? And your mouth is like, I can't tell you any faster than I can experience it, ma'am. And to
Right.
some degree, there's your brain. It
Mm-hmm.
can't tell you something faster than
Mm-hmm.
you can experience it. And we tend to want to know what's going to happen.
Before,
So
yes.
that, yes, we like a fortune teller brain, but
Yes.
they're fresh out of those.
I would
Fresh out
sign
of
up for
those.
that. If I could have got that,
Yes,
I would have had it.
yes. I
Yes.
keep standing in that line and they keep saying that they only have
They're
for
out.
10 ones. So
They're sold out. Yeah.
right, they're so that. So then you say, well, what could I do? Well, the other part is accessible to you,
Mm-hmm.
but it's through quiet listening. Compassionate listening is best
Mm-hmm.
to all parts of the self.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how long have we known that? I genuinely mean we've known this since the early 70s, but well publicized, not so much. My, genie wish would be that Eugene Gendlin and some of these other beautiful scientists would have had social media because then we
Mm-hmm.
would have all known. But they
Yeah.
did not. This is back when you had to hope to get published. And even
Yeah.
if you got published, you were in the library. We didn't have Barnes and Nobles. We did not have half price books.
Back in the corner on the
This was
bottom
back in the
shelf.
corner,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it was probably a reference book. So then you got to give like an organ and a donation to get the book. But now you can just access information. So that would be one thing that we have known. Eugene Gendlin, who's at the University of Chicago, did many, many studies with his students to identify what is it? What is it that people are doing when they come to therapy that makes their experience so much more robust with the
Mm-hmm.
same amount of time that
Yes.
other people are having? And as it turns out, there's two features. One is the person that you go see. So that does matter. Like you're saying, you were surfing, who can I go see? And you said, I want to see someone who actually, so that's part of it. That
Mm-hmm.
is part of it. But the other part is what I was talking to you about off camera before we started, like the show before the show, that you guys have to bring something to us. And
Yeah.
what you bring is like, you said, well, we want to, I'm like, yes, it is. Y'all are seeping. This group is just oozing with, we want to grow. I don't
Yeah.
know if they give y'all little pills and have you take them, but I had so much fun with the other girl. I'm like, they just want to grow. So
Yes.
you actually, as it turns out, have to bring that.
Mm-hmm. Willingness. Yes.
You have to bring that. So that interest helps you to be kind of pliable, coachable, teachable. And all you need then is a
Yeah.
good teacher. So your Olympic gold medalists, what do they still need? A coach. They still need a
Yes.
coach, right?
Yes.
But can they do amazing things?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So they're bringing something versus nothing.
Nothing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And there it is. The pause helps you to say, well, what do I need to bring to myself? If you can get quiet,
Mm-hmm.
Eugene Gilliland called it focusing. If you can get very quiet and listen to yourself, you can hear answers to
Yeah.
your own questions,
Yeah.
but they are your answers, your unique answers, just authentic for you. And they expire like Cinderella situation at midnight. So tomorrow you will
It's
need
gone.
to
You
all
can
over
do it
again.
all over again. Listen,
Yes.
our world is so noisy that I don't
Mm.
even think most of us don't even know how to listen to ourselves anymore or
Mhm,
to
mhm.
even discern what is myself. Because
Oh.
the minute we wake up and we pick up that phone and then we
Mhm.
start putting other people's thoughts, ideas, information, pouring it in all day long, and there
Mhm,
isn't even that
mhm.
moment to kind of
Yes.
stop. So like between that and
Mhm.
between what you were talking about of like instead of like, okay, I'm 5'1", don't buy the tall pants, but we fixate on why am I not taller? How can I get taller? Why didn't I get that? Is it
Oh, you
no
scroll,
wonder
looking at all the tall pictures.
all
Oh,
the
look at
tall
that. Look how
people?
they look. Yes, yes.
Yes, look at her legs. I don't have those legs. And yet, is it no wonder then that we are not like
Mm-hmm.
a stressed and anxious bunch?
Right. So the science, you know what happens with your
Yeah.
brain as you allow, and you do that by that thing, that avoidance of self. When
Mm,
you are scrolling, 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 you are accidentally, intentionally, I think more accidentally,
hmm.
teaching the brain how to avoid the self.
Yeah.
And you get very good at that
Hmm.
versus taking a breath,
Mm,
saying, and here's a tip. So like I said, I would share lots of science, like what can I do today? Tonight, just 5 minutes. I don't mean 10. I genuinely mean five.
hmm. Hmm.
5 minutes before you go to bed, just switch just a tiny move of the needle of your bedtime routine. 5 minutes around bedtime. So maybe you are already scrolling. You're already thinking popcorn and wine is a full,
Yeah.
nutritious
Too
meal.
much
That's
watch
already where
Scandal.
you
Yes.
are. You
Uh-huh.
just,
Yes.
you're sitting there, you just eat, and right in there somewhere, squeeze in 5 minutes. And
Uh,
in those 5 minutes, I need you to do just two things, easy things, okay? One is allow some problem to kind of bubble up. Probably the problem that you're not thinking about because you're trying to watch TV because you don't want
right.
to think
You
about it.
want to
Okay,
put it
so
down.
that
Mhm.
particular problem, right? Could be a
Right.
man, it could be a woman, it could be y'all, it could be them, it could
Yeah.
be anything, it could be your money, it could
Uh-huh.
be anybody. Okay,
Uh-huh.
anybody, anything, whatever it is. You're going to stop and for just 2 minutes, two of these 5 minutes,
Mhm.
write down every idea you can possibly come up with that possibly could help. It doesn't have to be a surefire, doesn't
Mhm.
have to be 100% guaranteed, but just ideas. You're just flushing them out for just 2 minutes. Set a timer, 2 minutes of writing, 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 writing. Stop. Set your timer, stop. And then breath. Yes. The one I like is 4, 7, 8. You inhale for 4 down your spine, hold it for 7 counts at your heart, exhale for 8. A minute has gone by, and now you invite your future self.
Oh.
Because your brain's not a fortune teller, but you can see your future self. Your 80-year-old self is a version that I love. Just kind of
Mhm.
notice her, breathe with her, notice her comment, get a sense. We're going to do this right now. Okay, Karen, see your 80-year-old self.
Mm. Mhm.
Just kind of notice her. Let me know when you can see her. Tell me when you can see
Yeah.
her. Just get a notice. Notice her comment. What comment does she have for you? Just kind of take that in. You gently notice, scan your body, and get a sense of, huh, how does my body respond to that comment? And I heard mine. You
Mhm.
don't have to tell us all what she said, but you could if you wanted to. See, it brings you there.
See, you told me before we
Mhm.
started that we
Mhm.
were going to laugh and we were going to cry. And we have now reached the crying portion of the podcast where no one has made me cry on the podcast before.
Oh.
Yeah. That is so simple and that is so
Mhm.
powerful. When I see my 80-year-old self sitting on a porch in a rocking chair, what I hear from her is acceptance, accepting who I am and
Mhm.
understanding who I am and that I am worthy who I am. And nearly every problem I have
Mhm.
exists as a result of not believing those simple things.
Your body, how did your body feel when you kind of sat with that comment?
Calm, peaceful.
Peaceful. That
Mm-hmm.
was 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
We did that together in just 5 minutes.
Wow.
And your body felt peace. You didn't leave. I didn't leave. We didn't need any real tools.
Mm-hmm.
And now
Mm-hmm.
your energy's back.
Yeah.
That flush you feel is a little
Yeah.
bitty oxytocin.
Yeah.
The
Oh yeah.
oxytocin is so healing for your body. It's a little shy hormone. You kind of have to do something for it to
Mm-hmm.
release,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
you can sense it. You can feel it. It's kind
Yeah.
of a tingly feeling in your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what we do is we chase that feeling. I was talking to somebody recently and she called it like cheap hits, like the cheap hits of the oxytocin, right? Which is like a scroll on TikTok, right? Or a scroll
Mm.
on Instagram, or, the chocolate bar or the second glass of wine, right? You know
But
what I'm
y'all
saying?
are talking about the dopamine. Is that
Oh, okay,
dopamine?
sorry. Different,
Listen,
different. See, this
wait
is
a minute.
why.
No, you were close. No, you're in the happy hormone family. You're in the happy hormone family.
Yes.
Yeah, you're there.
Yeah.
Dopamine,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
serotonin,
You're right. You're
oxytocin.
right.
You're
You're
in
right.
the happy hormone,
Okay.
but
Okay.
the dopamine is the flaky one. Let me tell you,
Okay.
the dopamine is the flaky one for the scrolling, for the chips, for
Yes.
comes out to play for everybody and anything. It is
Okay.
your oxytocin is your most honest, happy hormone.
Okay.
Only with love.
Okay. Okay.
You were connecting with self love just then.
Yes.
And you felt it. But you can access it by connecting with someone that you love. And the beauty of it
Mhm.
is they don't even have to be here anymore. If you love somebody who's gone on, you can
Yeah.
think of them, see them in your mind,
Mm.
and send a beautiful note of thanks and just say thank you.
Mm.
And I'm seeing somebody who went on for me, and
Mm.
I'm telling her thank you right now. And
Mm.
I can feel that love.
Mm.
You can feel it. And it's
Yeah.
genuine and it's real. And it does not work when you think about the idiot head who just sent you the little idiot head text message about some little idiot thing. And you think
Yes.
about them, and all you feel is the idiot hormones, which is all your
Yes.
stress hormones, right?
Or it's 10 o'clock and it's your client texts you and they're mad because,
Mhm.
somebody came to look at the house today and they didn't put the booties on.
Really quick conference update for you before we continue with today's episode. We are less than 3 months out from September 29th, which is day one of our 6th annual Empowering Women in Real Estate conference. And I just wanted to share something that one of last year's attendees said. She said she left with more ideas than she knew what to do with. And she said that it was just different at this conference, different in a way she was not expecting. And I can't tell you how many times we hear that from attendees to our conference. The vibe is different. The energy is different. The women in the room are different. And I think that's what happens when you attend an event like this, where the content is taking you as a whole person seriously, not just as a one-dimensional real estate agent. And that's one of the things I'm most proud about. So we would love to see you there. It's 2 days this year, September 29th and 30th at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Dulles, Virginia. Registration is open, and you will find the link in the show notes, or go to our website, empoweringwomeninrealestate.com, and click on the conference.
And they didn't put the booties on and then they track the dirt in the house, right? That's the stuff that we deal
Mhm.
with. And then we lay there in
Yes.
bed and we think, I'm so
Mhm.
terrible at my job and these people hate me and
Mhm.
what, you know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm. And they're going to tell everybody.
And they're going to
They're going to
everybody.
tell everybody.
And I'll never get
Yes.
another client because those
There you
stupid
go.
people didn't put the booties on.
Mhm.
So this is why, Dr. Monique Thompson, we
Yes.
have you coming to speak at our conference.
Yes.
There was another thing that I just remembered that you talked about that I wanted to ask you. And actually, I was talking
Okay.
to my business partner before the call, and she said, I wonder if she experiences stress too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you mentioned, yeah. So you mentioned that
Mhm.
you worked with a lot of trauma survivors. I
Mhm.
cannot
Mhm.
even begin to imagine the things that you saw and heard and what you helped
Mhm.
people through. When you're dealing with that level of
Mhm.
trauma, how do you keep yourself separate? Like, how do you not go right into where they are and
Yes.
what they're feeling?
Well, sometimes I do.
Mm,
Sometimes I
yeah.
do. The truth is that most of the time I don't, but it is an unfair advantage that I have because I do this all the time. I've been doing it since I was 15.
Mm,
That same strict mom had me go back to school and tell them that I can't just go to school half a day. I have to find classes. So they put me in AP Psych and Sociology when I was a teenager. And
wow.
my school counselor had a grant to teach kids to be counselors. So I started doing that as a teenager. I have tons of tools in my toolkit because I am 55 and I
Ah,
started when I was a teenager. So
wow.
one, it's an unfair advantage, but I also consider myself a called counselor. Like this is
Mm,
me. This is who I am. And it allows me a lot of expression of self and connection. During the day, I take most of my environment pretty seriously.
mm,
So I'm almost always facing a window that I can see nature. I kind of feng shui my space. I have music that I listen to in between sessions. If it's been a hard session, if it's been, I'm gonna use some, if it's been an SNC, and my very closest colleagues know what that is, show enough crazy.
oh.
If it's been SNC, then I have kind of a list of people that I call. I have some close colleagues that I'll call and I was like, I'm going to call and walk. So you talk to me, you talk me down, but I only give myself a tiny taste of that pie, maybe 15 minutes at the most,
Hmm.
usually 10. So I'll call, I'll walk, and as I'm walking, I am talking, I'm getting it out. If there's no one to call, I'm acknowledging something here. I am a woman of faith. If there is, he's always available. So
Oh,
I say some different kind of words. Me and the Lord got a special relationship. I say whatever I got to say
yes,
when
yes,
I'm
yes.
walking, and I walk it out looking like Sophia off the color purple until I get it out. And then once I can hear,
Mm,
I'm okay. That usually takes me about 10 or 15 minutes, depending.
mhm,
I keep some weights in here. If
mhm,
I'm really pissed,
mm.
I will burn off the cortisol. I get checked. I mean, I go to my doctor, I get checked. My cholesterol's fine, my blood pressure's fine, everything is fine. So I go get checked. I do things like that. I enjoy my husband, Big Daddy, Wonderful and Still Uncomfortable, Nick Thompson. And he knows how to have some mommy daddy time to help me
Uh-huh,
release stress. I'm just saying,
uh-huh,
a pair of thighs him. So anyway, I love, and I have a lot of loving things around me. I love my kids. We like them as people. So just outnumbering.
uh-huh.
So on I'll tell you this real quick. On social media, you'll see a lot of things about anxious attachment, avoided attachment, things like that. All right. One, that's a part of the picture of the science. That's only a part of the picture of the science. The bigger picture of the science is you can earn your secure attachment as an adult. You're not stuck with the story from your childhood,
Mhm.
but you have to make a choice to earn it. And the earning, I'd like for us to have a different word. I don't know why we use that word, but that is the appropriate language for it. Earned social secure attachment. What you do basically, the basics of it is outnumber the people who are not helpful, like the person calling you frantic about some doggone booties. Okay.
Yep,
You
yep.
outnumber them with the people that give you all of the acceptance that you need as a fallible human being and don't give you attaboys when you've screwed up. They say, oh, baby, but I love you. But next time, they can support you and coach you. And so you have that. And there's reciprocity. So you're
Mhm,
able to be there for them. And when you notice gaps there, you fill those gaps until those gaps outnumber the idiot
mhm,
group. So you need to out, and I feel like I'm long enough tenured to say certain words like the idiot group. I really do mean
yes.
the idiot group.
Yeah.
I mean that. Okay. I mean the idiot group. So you
I,
cannot have a university full of idiots and
yeah.
just a preschool room full of securely attached relationships. You need that
Yes.
room to be the university room because these people still exist and they populate the earth and they're having babies right now. They're repopulating all the time. They
Yes, they
just keep
are
having
all the
babies.
time.
And right,
Hmm.
so you can't wish them gone.
Yep.
And they don't need to be gone because they're
Yeah.
teaching you beautiful lessons if you choose. What we know about social science is at the same time that pain is born, you have a coexisting twin of wisdom, but
Oh.
the pain is so loud
Mm,
and dark and torturous. And so when that happens, because it does happen, when it happens that I've had a long, stressful day, I usually remember to take a walk or to get to my music or to get to somebody that loves me or to
mm,
have a moment. Usually remember to do that. I usually do. Um, I choose to figure out what I can do now. I
mhm,
use the same 5 minutes that I just taught. I use that
mhm.
same 5 minutes. My 80-year-old self told me a couple of weeks ago to focus. And then today, when I checked in, she just said, I'm proud of you. Because I felt like I was getting there to what she meant. And I was just like a little kid. I was like,
Yeah.
so I do the same kind of check-ins.
Oh,
I also have some of the same kind of vices that everybody has.
yeah.
Like, do not leave me in a room full of chocolate chip cookies. That would not be,
Yeah.
don't expect
Anytime.
me to parent myself in
Yeah.
that situation. Right? I'm gonna ask myself, and myself is gonna say
Go and say,
yes.
have
So
another. Yes.
have another. Yeah. Would you like them warm? It's like something else,
Yes, I
ice
would.
cream? Ice cream with it? Yeah, ice cream.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I have the same vices as everybody else. But I've been very, very blessed to use my gifts responsibly for
Mm.
25 years.
Hmm.
I choose to stay as sharp as I can as a scientist. I'm certified. I'm an MDR certified therapist. I explore the science constantly. The irony is that literally right now, Star Talk, I'm a Neil deGrasse Tyson fan. It's
Uh,
on in the other room. And the nerd that I am, I sit and watch that to relax.
yeah,
To relax.
yeah.
I watch documentaries and science shows to relax. But at the same time, listen, shows, I'll sit there and watch those too,
Mhm,
and I just love life. So as a truth, I get stressed. I happen to know a lot of tricks. I
mhm.
love teaching the ones that work, like the one we use today.
Yeah,
And if I've learned, if people know enough to MacGyver their own situation, then
yeah,
now you can have self-acceptance. You don't feel like there's something so wrong with you that you need a team of people
yeah,
from Vienna. They need
yeah,
to
yes,
fly in
yes. Right, right.
and study you because you're so flawed.
If you're
No,
so,
yeah,
okay.
you're probably okay.
So these tools, I mean, like this is exactly what we're going to be hearing from you at the conference,
Yes,
and I'm
yes.
so happy that you shared that because so much of what you just talked about is when I think about our life, in the real estate industry, and I think
Mhm.
about the women that I know, there isn't one that I know that isn't like, stressed, burned out, nervous system fried, and it's because we don't do those simple things, and I wrote down what you said, like outnumbering the not helpful, like. We
Yes.
run from client to client and messed up situation to messed up situation. This appraisal wasn't right. This inspection's bad. This seller's mad at us because of the booties. This buyer is upset because, they wanted to offer 100,000 less and they were 10 bids and of course they didn't get it. Now it's my fault. And so instead of we don't take a minute to do anything that you just talked about. We just go from one to the next, to the next, to the next, to the
Hmm.
next. And so it's
Hmm.
no wonder. So when you come see us, right? So you're going to be
Yes.
there
Yes.
live at the conference, September 29th and 30th. And I have intentionally placed you as our final speaker on day one because I
Yes.
want us to have time and space to ask you
Yes.
questions and to really, kind of dig into that moment. Can you share it? And maybe it is kind of what we've already talked about, but can you
Hmm.
maybe share a little bit of what you're going to be sharing and what you're going to talk to us and what our attendees can expect to walk away from?
100%. You are walking around all day long with the exact the one tool you have to have, you've had your whole life.
Mm,
You.
mm-hmm,
You don't have to buy a single thing because you don't have to buy yourself.
mm-hmm,
You don't need the one tool you have to have, you've had
mm-hmm.
your whole life. You're your oldest friend, your longest companion is you.
Oh, yeah,
You've had you your whole life. And
yeah.
you knowing how to use what you already have inside of you,
Mhm.
you can max out those minutes in between clients, in between phone calls. I can't get my best friend on the phone. And my husband ain't answering either. And then I know he's not cooking dinner because he doesn't cook. Now what am I going to eat? Because I didn't do that. And I'm too emotionally drained to do anything. I can't even think. Somebody asked me, do I want cold water or water without ice? I don't even know anymore.
Yes,
Stop
yes,
asking.
yes,
The water in Hawaii is too blue right now. So,
yeah.
right? But if you can get the self
Mhm,
that you are, you can listen to her.
mhm,
Woo! Oh my goodness. She is a problem solver. She is clever and she has been with you the whole time.
mhm, mhm,
The
mhm,
whole time. So you'll walk away knowing how to more quickly tap into the self.
mhm.
You'll always have you. Now, when you don't have you, we don't have a problem anymore, do we? Because you're no
Mhm.
longer here. Okay, so
Yes,
long
yeah,
as you're here, you
yeah,
have the one thing you have to have. But it's like, these like my husband bought me this really, 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 really nice car. Like one of those when you retire dream car kind of things.
yeah.
I do not know how to use all the features on this car. Every time he gets in and he drives, because I'm
uh,
definitely a passenger princess,
yeah,
he's doing something. I'm like, I didn't know it could. How did
yeah.
you do that? And the first time I got in and he turned on like the seat massage, I'm like,
Oh,
what?
what is that? Yeah. I've
It
had it the
started
whole
moving
time.
the
Yes.
whole time, which is the point I'm making. Me and some of my girlfriends went out for a night on town. One of them, their husband had this same car. She says, you can change the color, the lights on the inside, the ambiance. I was like, how do we do
Yeah.
that?
It was there the whole time.
I was like, I think we should do blue. So we change it. The next time my husband, he's like, so you figured out how? I was like, actually, no, I cannot take credit. Marilyn knew how to change it, so we were playing around with the colors and we changed it. He's like, were you drunk? I said, I might have had a drink, but I was not drunk driving.
Yeah.
I just, I had fun. So I'm saying your body. I mean, literally, I mean from top to bottom and beyond. So that's the fun part. Maybe I should, do you think I should save that for, I should save that for
Okay,
like
we're gonna
what's,
save that. Okay. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
it's so
Okay.
hard. So
Yeah.
what's beyond? I'll tease with
Okay.
this.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you don't have to tell me. I'll tell people how old I'm 55,
I'm
but I'm
53.
not.
I just turned 53.
Look, don't we look good?
Yes, we
Listen.
do.
But there's something older.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay, so y'all
Yeah.
come and we'll talk about it. I'll tell you
Oh
about it.
man. Oh my gosh. I am so, 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 so excited to have this conversation with you today. I am thrilled to share you with our audience. I cannot wait to see you in September. This is the conversation that we need. This is the conversation that so many of us have been craving, have been wanting. And what I probably love the most about what you're sharing and how we're going to go into this is that it's what you said, it's already there. We have
Hmm.
it. It's learning to tap in. So for anybody who wants to get to know you before, hopefully coming to see you at the conference, or if they can't join us this year and they want to work with you in a different way, what are the best ways to find you and connect with you? And I know you wrote a book and all the things.
Yes, Instagram is the easiest thing. Follow me at Dr. Monique Thompson. So Dr. Monique Thompson. But online, my website is full out, drmoniquethompson.com. Those are the two easiest ways to find me. Now listen, if you need the book, you need the book, but the book is on infidelity recovery workbook for couples.
Mhm.
There's that. But if you're at my website and you sign up for things, you get lots of free ebooks, things like that. A lot of it is on self-care, things like that. So just
Excellent.
follow me and you get stuff.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to see you in
Welcome.
person.
Likewise, likewise. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to Empowering Women in Real Estate, the podcast. Click subscribe to be notified every Wednesday when our latest episode is released, and be sure to check out our group on Facebook.